So on the count of three. 1, 2, 3. Now we're talking. All right. Suicide prevention. It's a tough topic.
When you're struggling and people are going through hard times, they often won't reach out for help. You've got to reach in, and you're more likely to find that in a mate, and you're more likely to realize that your mate's changing.
When did you start noticing that this was something that you wanted to be involved in and that was a problem that needed more specific attention?
Now, guys, we're these wonderful people that don't speak. We don't like talking about anything until it becomes this vortex. And what happens with suicide, I believe, this is just my opinion, is that people get so introverted. When they get to the end of their tether, people say, oh, there's all these help services out there. Yes, they're out there, but they're not in there. And that's the biggest issue, is that when you become introverted, you won't reach out for help because you're so tied into your own world and how bad it is, you can't think of any other out than suicide.
Having been there myself, you feel very removed, and it's almost like there's this real fuzzy feeling about life, and you can't see a pathway forward. So, it's that, you see that emotional disconnect, and it's a very clear sign that someone's going through stuff.
I thought, what did I do wrong to get into this position? To actually go from this to this, and everything I'd worked for was just stripped away from me. It was tough. I remember the point that I had to change myself was I sat on the bed looking at my kids one morning.
I got up early that morning because it had been a year or so when I'd been stuck on the site, and my life had gone from the top of the world to the bottom of the planet in sort of one hit. And I couldn't see a way out of there, and it took me to a very dark place.
I thought this was the day, my birthday, that I was going to end this. I didn't know if I was going to come back.
And I sat on the edge of the bed that morning looking at my kids while they slept.
My little boy looked up at me, he opened his eyes for that moment and said, I love you, Daddy. And I thought to myself, you know what? I've got to fight for these kids. I've got to fight for this life.
I went into work late, only about half an hour late. And as I walked down onto the site and I got all my protective gear on, one of my colleagues and a good mate walked past me. And 5 minutes later, he was lying next to me, having taken his own life.
When I finished my interview with the police, they corralled all the workers up into this room, and they left them there while they tried to source help because it was such a devastating event. And I don't know what came over me. I just looked at all these big, tough, strong blokes just sitting there looking into space
with absolutely no idea how to deal with this. I got up and I decided I just needed to say something. I've been through a lot of suicides in my life, a lot. And it was an important moment. I just stood up and I said, okay guys, this is how it happens. This is how quickly it can happen. This is how fast you can descend into this abyss of darkness where you can't find a way out.
And what I learnt was this. There were so many people in a much worse position than me. So many chippies and tradies and steel fixers that had drug problems, alcohol problems, gambling issues, broken families, third marriages, living away from home, FIFO workers that were suffering because they're living out of suitcases.
I said, if anybody else in this room is feeling the same way, you come and see me when I'm finished and I will walk you to help myself.
And when I finished, 6 guys stayed behind and said they were thinking of taking their lives. And that was a real awakening moment to me that I had another purpose again, to go from where I was in the film industry to becoming almost nothing.
When you are in that place, you're so introverted, you're trying so hard just to hang on every day, just to fight, to survive. You don't have the physical energy to reach out for help, and you don't think anyone can help you anyway, until you make that decision.
So I made it my quest, to move forward and to help change people's lives, and that's what we did. So yeah, it was a huge moment for me in bringing me back from the edge personally, but also in helping other people. And and I feel on that day we lost one life. We actually saved 7. We saved those 6 fellas and myself.
If we think we're tough, we're not tough until we can speak about our issues, until we can tell the world that we've got troubles, until we can put our hand up and say to a friend that, you know what, we're struggling, help me.
We try and move forward from here and try and teach and help and educate people, so we're not afraid to say how we feel. And so we've got help around us, and we feel we're in a safe environment where we can speak.